What's up, YouTube? This is Jay. Today's November 7th, and it feels like it's like midnight, but daylight savings time is changing that. Anyways, I had a conflict that I was dealing with, and I think now I've kind of processed that with some, I don't know, my own personal way of going about things and talking to people and getting advice from friends. Whatever. To the story. My friend that was hit by a car was in the hospital, and she kind of had a party room on the floor. There were at least 8 people in her room at all times, and I had a problem with um, being addressed with like feminine pronouns, and usually, actually, uh, like 99 point whatever percent of the time, like I would just correct people. But uh, for this situation, I kind of dealt with like, okay, one, is this appropriate time to um, out myself in a hospital full of people that I don't really know and may or may not see again in the future, which I will see um, most of them in like a week. Um, and two, dealing with, a stressful situation of my friend, being in the hospital and not being able to move and getting hit by a car, like dealing with that um, mental stress, especially, you know, not only because she was my friend, but also as a biker and the fears that, I tend to have on the road. But is it an appropriate place to have, like, to be put under the microscope and, like, not appropriate, but, like, well, yeah, but more so feeling um, anxious and uncomfortable about feeling like I would be put under the microscope and having to answer like 1,000 questions about being trans, which for me, I don't like being stealth is not where I see things for myself. Um, and I'm an open book. Pretty much, if anybody wants to ask a question, they can ask a question, and um, as long as it's coming from like a genuinely like curious place, like wanting more information, like I will answer that unless it's like way too personal. But if it's asking to demean me, then that is not something that I entertain. Anyways, um, the friend that is hit by the car, was hit by the car. Her mom said, "Hey, girly girls," and she was surrounded by like uh, maybe like 10 people that I had no idea who they were, and we're like in the middle of the hospital lobby, and like it was just kind of like she was in conversation and just not like it. I was just shocked, like I kind of freaked out because I didn't know how to handle the situation where I was being like addressed from across a hospital lobby, like going to see my friend, surrounded by people that I didn't know, and like the person I'm dating doesn't identify with that language either. So that was the first situation, and I didn't like say anything. I just was, yeah, I continued on the elevator and went up to my friend's room. And my friend's aunt um, said she and like, or bye girl, like was saying bye and was like, bye ladies or bye girls or something like that. But, it was another situation where there was like 12 people in the hallway. I only knew 2 of them. And like I freaked out again because it's just like there was too much going on at that time, and I didn't know how to necessarily handle it because, yeah, I didn't want to have, or not, yeah, I didn't, I wasn't ready to have that conversation at that time because of like my own things that I was dealing with on top of the accident. Um, so I let it go, and I think those were like the two incidences there. But it made me think like why did I have like such a big problem like just correcting them in that, and like it was my own fear of kind of being put under that microscope. But I don't know if that would have necessarily been the case. And now, like, I talked to the person that I'm dating, and they were like, well, you think about it, like, if you were a guy, you would just say, I'm a guy, and that would be the end of it, and it would be the end of the story. But since you're trans, there's, like, this, there is, like, for me, there is I don't know, that part of my identity that I still hold true to myself. Like I just don't want to be stealth. Usually when somebody uses like feminine language, I either say like, I prefer he, or I go by masculine pronouns, or please don't address me with lady, uh, or ma'am, um, or I'm a guy. And I have had some people that have kind of challenged that, and yeah, I don't know, but it's just it kind of threw me in a weird place mentally on top of everything else, because that was a new situation for me that I hadn't, or not really new. I mean, I'd been gendered before, but not in a setting where I felt like I lost control of um, like where that conversation could have went. And that's, I don't know, that's something that I've been processing and dealing with and getting better about. They didn't mean it in a demeaning way. I, I mean, I don't really think that there's anything about me that reads female besides like whatever, like um, the facial features that uh, guys aren't known for having, like high cheekbones or whatever, but that doesn't mean that they can't have them. Um, and yeah, and it's interesting now when I get read that way. And I am passing a lot more. That's one thing that has changed in recent weeks, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't. Um, I couldn't correct them, um, or put them on the right path, I guess, with language, just because I got scared for a second as to um, what the response would have been like, not from that particular person that I was correcting, but from the surrounding individuals in that group. Um, I didn't want it to feel like cornered in an unfamiliar space, in an uncomfortable situation, or not uncomfortable, but really unfortunate situation. And even, even though I didn't put them, or even though I didn't make that situation where I felt cornered by correcting them, it was still uncomfortable because I still left feeling like I lost control of that. I'm gonna go see Nikki, my friend, uh, in like a week, and I think her mom is gonna be there. And I haven't talked to her mom since. Nikki left, but it's been, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what that's like, because when I get there, it's gonna be less overwhelming, and that is, a conversation that I probably will, or yeah, will need to have, especially um, with like, I'm probably going to be seeing a lot more of my friend's family, um, just because they're gonna be around and I'm gonna be around to help, like whatever way I can. Right now, I can't really do a lot because they're in another state, but when they come back after their rehab, yeah, I will be around to help out. Um, and I just, I don't want it to be like I want to be able to take that control back, um, and yeah, be able to like feel like I have control over like where a conversation will go, or like how people know, or letting people know like what language I prefer. But it was just, yeah, that was the first time that I kind of like I had a really uh, intense reaction to the language, because not only did the language happen, but I didn't feel safe in um, correcting that, and not saying that like something violent would have happened, but I just felt like that wasn't like a mentally safe or emotionally safe space for me to out myself in a way. We'll see how the next few weeks turn out with that, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to talk about that a bit, and how, yeah, I mean, it's still early in transition, so I do get read as female quite a bit still, but I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself. So, yeah, that's it. Just kind of reflecting on that. And I don't know. I'll post something again soon. Peace.